I have randomly selected the poem Out Out by Robert Frost. Frost's poem brings up the question, do our lives really matter to others? It does this through the character's actions in the poem, the unified structure, and the speaker. The structure of this poem, it's one stanza, and it's a rather long stanza. It's actually 34 lines. And through these 34 lines that are one stanza, you can see it can be symbolic of one life. Also, there's no rhyme scheme in this poem, and also irregular meter. And with irregular meter, there's uneven line length. And so the uneven line length makes the poem even kind of look like a saw, which is very appropriate because there's a saw in the poem. With the rhyme scheme, it just shows kind of irregularity, kind of like life, how life is not predictable, and neither is the rhyme scheme. The punctuation in this poem can actually tell us a lot. In the beginning, there's a good mix of enjambed and in-stop lines, but as you get towards the end of the poem, almost every line becomes in-stopped and has some kind of punctuation. And even towards the end, there's more caesura, and with this, it kind of builds the emotion, and also you could say that it makes kind of short little things, and it's kind of like a heartbeat. Moving on to characters' actions. First of all, the characters in this poem. There's a boy who's referred to as he, his sister who's referred to as she. There's also a doctor who is called once the boy hurts his hand, and there's also a watcher who is watching the boy's pulse. And this could just be anyone who's been on the scene when the accident happens. And you see, these are non-specific characters. They aren't given names, so we form no attachment with them, so they could really be anyone. And this, just like how a boy dies, anyone could be this person who just one day dies. At the end of the poem is where the character's action really tells us something. The last two lines says, and they, since they are not the one dead, turn to their affairs. And through this, we see that they don't really care for the boy. They have no mourning period. And with their continuance, they continue on with their life even though the boy's life has ended. This forms a sort of tension. And from the point of from the character's actions, it kind of appears like the boy's life didn't even matter at all. They continued on like nothing even happened. The time in this poem, it slows down once the accident happens, and when it slows it down, it makes the reader or the audience feel more. It makes it agonize with the boy so they can feel his pain, and you can hear his rueful laugh, and you can just see it so much more vividly with time slowed down. The diction in this poem, there's the repetition of snarled and rattled in the beginning. I believe it is repeated at least 3 times, and this is describing the sound that the buzzsaw makes. And this could be automatopoeia, that it's literally telling us the sound that the saw is making. And also, it's cacophonous, snarled and rattled. It's not a pretty noise. It's not what you would want to hear. It's not what you would turn on the radio to listen to. And so with this cacophonous diction, it could foreshadow that the saw is bad, and that the saw is going to do something harmful. But along with this cacophonous diction, you also have some mucinous diction, the sweet scented stuff when the breeze drew across it. This creates a pretty picture in your mind, where you breathe in and you can smell the sweet scent, and the breeze draws across, you can just kind of see the rustle of leaves. And this, it kind of balances it out to make the beginning of the poem not seem so bad. The tone of this poem, at the end, it becomes remorseful, because there's always remorse and sadness when a young person dies, and especially with this one because it's so unexpected. And also, the remorse kind of increases when you see that the boy isn't really cared for, that no one really cared that the boy was gone. Everyone just continues as if nothing has happened. The speaker in this poem, though, could bring some hope to the tone that the characters set through their actions. Well, first, what we know about the speaker is that when he refers to other people, he uses a plural third person, so he does not include himself with the other characters. And the only part that he uses first person is when he says, I wish they might have said to please the boy by giving him the half hour that a boy counts so much when saved from work. And when he says, I wish, it brings in a personal element from the speaker. Also, you can see the speaker could bring hope at the end of the poem when it says, and they, since they were not the ones dead, turned to their affairs. He does not include himself in that. So while he's saying that others did not just went on as if nothing happened, it could infer that he did have a mourning period and that he did feel remorse and he felt sad. So this brings a ray of hope to the beginning question that I asked: do lives really matter to others? Also, you can infer that the speaker is older than the boy, so that he's not looking down, but he's reflecting back to his childhood when he says, I wish that a boy counts so much when saved from work. He's talking like he knows how that felt when he was young, how happy he felt when he was able to leave work early. And also you can see this when he says doing a man's work. Though a child at heart, it's like he's reflecting back on it. The title, Out Out, is an allusion to Shakespeare's play Macbeth. And when Macbeth is talking about this, he's in a state of ennui. He's feeling bored with his life, and that sense of ennui, it's not really a tone, can be applied to this poem because there's no real happiness in it, and it's all just a perpetual state of kind of boredom. And even when the boy dies, things continue as they were, which is boring. So in this poem, Frost gives off a sense of carpe diem, telling us to seize the day, because we do not know when the end will come and our light will go out, just like the boys.